We now are starting to see that Big Ed freaking crossed the line with Rose on his season of 90 Day Fiance. You guys, this is actually kind of just cringy, serious, and just freaking weird. We saw on 90 Day Bears all Ed and Rose, and they finally got together and actually talked. I don't know why, which I'll talk about in a couple of seconds. It was very awkward, very cringy, and very uncomfortable. However, we also saw a never-before scene of Ed and Rose that was not allowed to go on TV. It was that just weird and just, yeah, not good. And oh my god, Ed freaking crosses the line. So let's not waste any time and just talk about this. In this never-before scene, guess what Ed was doing? He was there in the Philippines on a beach, and it was after he gave Rose that beautiful gift. Remember, he gave her a freaking bikini, which is just weird in itself, but she was walking around on the beach, and Ed pulls out his big old gigantic camera, and he starts doing this. Now, he claims he's a photographer, which is fantastic. I don't even know how true that is. Maybe the guy is or was a real photographer. I don't really buy it. I feel like the guy is kind of just trying to use that to creep on people, but I could be wrong. Who knows? But he's walking around taking pictures of Rose. She is so uncomfortable, and the most creepy part was he kept saying little stuff like, you know, get wet and little weird stuff, and she was even just like, it was seriously the most uncomfortable, disgusting thing I've possibly ever seen on 90 Day Fiance, because you could see Rose had no interest in this guy, and I just feel bad. I mean, even though she was kind of, you know, trying to somewhat use him to come to the States, I still feel bad for her because it is like she is so incredibly uncomfortable, and if I was a producer on this show, I would just say, this is a wrap. We cannot do this. This is way too weird. And once again, let me say real quick before I go on to the rest of the drama, please, if you are new to this channel, please hit the subscribe or follow button, and also, if you have not already shared this video, it means the absolute world to me. Share it with a friend, share it with a family member, share it with a person on a freaking street corner. I don't even care, but if you hit the share button, it helps this channel and the video out so much. It means the absolute world to me. Well, guys, I love you all so much. Now let's go back to the rest of this drama. So he's, you know, ordering her around, go do this, and he's using all these weird, nasty little backwards comments that I'm not even going to repeat, but he kept saying this and do that, and he was taking all these pictures, and I was just like, and for those of you guys that saw the never before seen clip, I can only imagine you guys would agree with me. It was nasty. And of course, he was telling her to, you know, okay, I want to see you in the new outfit I got. And remember the outfit he got her? Yeah, he kept saying, I want to see you in that new outfit. And I'm just thinking, God knows why he's only taking these pictures. This is just absolutely disgusting. So we saw that clip. And of course, Sean was sitting there, ha 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 ha, laughing like it was all sunshine and rainbows. And I'm sitting there thinking, Rose is probably, you know, she can't even probably rewatch that. She's probably so just, yeah, it probably just freaking just ruined her. So anyway, like I said, he crossed the line. That was disgusting. And then we got to see them, yeah, actually finally talk. And supposedly, they have not talked since the tell-all. And remember, they were really mad at each other. Well, this time they got to talk again. And honestly, I think what we're starting to kind of see is it looks like Ed just got humiliated on social media and ripped to shreds after the tell-all and his season actually aired. Because remember, he was nothing but rude to her this entire season. He said her breath stank. He said, I mean, just a laundry list of things he did that was totally uncalled for, totally rude. And now he took those weird pictures. But anyway, he came out there and just said, Rose, he actually said, my queen. Oh my god. Even if he's being funny, it's like, dude, she doesn't like you. You're like, this is weird. You're older than her dad. This is freaking disgusting. So, you know, of course, he says, my queen. And she's just like, has no comment, nothing to say to him. She basically just says, I'm not mad at you, but I have no interest in being your friend. I don't want anything to do with you. And I'm just kind of crossing the line. This is it. We are done. And then Ed was like, you know, oh my god, I appreciate everything you've done for me. You changed my life for the better. And he gave a heartfelt little message, but it's like, no, he did not. The only reason he kept, like, he literally kept saying, you changed my life for the better about 300,000 times, and the only reason he said it is because now he's, in the words of 90 Day Fiance, famous. I don't even want to use the word just famous. I have to use my stupid, annoying, air quotes, famous. He's not really famous. He's just kind of somewhat famous in the 90 Day Fiance community. So he's kept saying, oh my god, you changed my life for the better. I owe you so much. And it's like, you know, I mean, this is just ridiculous. She wanted nothing to do with him. They ended up talking more. He did end up doing a little snip-snap downstairs, and so yeah, he can't have kids, I guess, but he did say that he froze some of his stuff, I guess, so if he wants to have kids in the future, he can, which I'm still sitting here thinking, wait, why? Like, who would want to have a kid with him? But I guess I could be wrong. And Ed, you know, Rose made a comment Like, really? And then Ed was like, well, I'm not gonna just, give it to anyone, but I'm still here like, well, who's gonna take the freaking thing? I know for one thing for a fact, he does not have people, begging the guy for this freaking stuff to have a kid with him. So oh my God, we saw Big Ed and Rose, and this guy is just weird. We also saw a little sneak peek of Ed on this new 90 Day Fiance dating show, and it looks like he said he got catfished 15 times by a bunch of different ladies on dating apps, which I'm just like, dude, I mean, come on, you're not some prize. You're an average looking guy with a god awful. I hate to be so rude, but it's like his personality's not special. He's just an average looking guy. What do you think? He thinks he's gonna freaking date some Kim Kardashian model, but I'm sorry, Ed, that's just not the case. But he said he's getting catfished, blah, 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 because he's some amazing catch, and more on them in a couple seconds. I can't even continue to talk about them because he makes me so mad. Anyway, we also got to see Ryan. Remember Ryan with Stephanie? However, this time we got to see the, what would it be, Mr. I don't even, it wouldn't be a mistress because he's a man, but we got to see Ryan's cousin Harris that did a little something, something, something with, Stephanie, who was at the time Ryan's, I guess, I don't even know, fiance. So yeah, because remember, Harris, Ryan's cousin, and Stephanie, they did a little something, 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 if you know what I mean. And so we gotta first see Ryan. Ryan apparently isn't mad at Stephanie, so he says, I kind of call BS, but then I think honestly it's the money. The money's coming in, and he is figuring if the money is still floating my way, I could care less who Stephanie is being with. But however, he does claim that he is mad at his cousin Harris, which that might possibly be true, I guess. And so at first he was like, I have never talked to him since, I am mad at him, and I refuse to talk to him again. And then Sean goes, well, good news then, because guess who's here? Harris, your cousin Harris, is also here on camera. And the second she said it, he went boom, and he closed his camera, and that was it. And we lost him, and he would not come back on. And then we got to see Harris, and Harris was just like, he was not beating around the bush. He was like, this is what happened. He was like, Stephanie, she was calm. We were, basically, he was saying we were flirting. And then, she was giving it to me. I was flirting with her. We went back and forth. And then basically that night, after Ryan did something wrong, she ended up calling me, and one thing led to another, and he was not beating around the bush. In fact, he was actually kind of explaining in very specific detail what went down with her, and it's just, whatever. I think it's weird, kind of, I definitely wasn't expecting to hear every little detail about their little romantic relationship, but hey, 90 Day Bears all, they don't bleep out anything, so yeah, we got to hear it all. And he still is saying, hey, I would go back to her in a heartbeat. And the funny thing that Sean said, which is like the first funny thing she has ever said in her entire life, but she said, if you were so amazing with her, why'd she go back to Ryan? Which is kind of actually a hilariously good point. And he goes, maybe I'm not as good at, like, he was not getting nervous, he was not beating around the bush, he was just telling it like it is. And he goes, hey, maybe I'm not as good as him, I guess. And then next thing you know, this Harris guy, Ryan's cousin, is flirting with Sean. So he was all over the place, definitely a major flirt, but he was like, I could care less. Ryan is totally rude to Stephanie, and I have no problem trying to step in. And I'm not sure why, but we also saw another bizarre couple, and that would be Brittany and Yazin. Yes, we are still seeing them. Now, before we saw Brittany and Yazin, we saw the third wheel in their relationship, and that would be Adam. Adam is the translator, who apparently is the biggest fan favorite of 90 Day Fiance. I think the guy's kind of funny, I guess. I mean, he's kind of just, for me, he's kind of just like, why is this guy still here? Because Yazin, I swear, can turn on and off English. Because one second, the guy's having a pretty good conversation in English, the next second, the guy can't understand a word. Now, I'm not trying to get at him for not knowing English, but it's like, why? It seemed like it was really pick or choose with him. But anyway, we got to see Adam. Adam came on 90 Day Bears all before, Yazin and Brittany, and it was just a real straight up question. Because, Sean asked Adam, well, hey, what was the deal with these two? And Adam basically said that their relationship was purely, how do I word this politely, bedroom stuff. It was just romantic, that was it. They didn't know anything about each other. They had horrible communication. It was just because of the bedroom, which I find interesting because Yazin used to swear up and down that they did not do anything, and Brittany always kept her mouth pretty shut when it came to that department. So I am kind of like, huh. But because Brittany's pretty open, and Yazin definitely did seem to be into her physically, I would not be shocked if Yazin was just kind of keeping his mouth shut, and he wasn't saying anything, and he was kind of acting like none of that stuff actually happened, when I really bet that they actually were kind of doing some stuff behind closed doors. And they should be. I'm in favor of them doing whatever they want to do. My only thing is just, why lie? Yes, and if you did do stuff with her, why do you have to put on this big show that you didn't and you're waiting till marriage and all this stuff? Come on, own up to it, be a man, and just, that's the thing I don't like about that. But Adam said no. They had a purely romantic relationship. That was it. Yasin was very into her physically, and that was it. And so that's when I was like, okay, I feel like, yeah, Adam would probably know, because this Yasin guy seems to be buddy-buddy with Adam, which is kind of also weird, but they do seem to kind of be friends, and I feel like if one person was going to know, it probably would be Adam. So I feel like Yasin, if that was a lie, probably the majority of everything else going on in this season was also, if I had to guess, probably a lie. But then, like I said, we got to see Yasin and Brittany, and the first thing everyone was wondering was, hey Yasin, how is your love life? And of course, we've heard the rumors, but Yasin confirmed that, yes, I have a girlfriend. But he actually, I don't even know if he used the word girlfriend. I think he might have even, he didn't use the word that he's engaged to her, but I think he said he has like a girl kind of thing. But he might actually either be engaged or possibly even married to her, which sounds kind of far-fetched, but they are the same religion. So if this person's a real person, that's a huge plus for them, because he clearly wants someone of his religion, but they're the same religion, and she's supposedly a doctor, and also she's from Tennessee. Now the weird thing is, I have heard several rumors that she was also in high school. So that's when I was like, okay, this does not make much sense. And the lady I saw pictures of, which I don't have any because these pictures were circulating, then the same person deleted her Instagram, so I don't even have any of them. But I will say I saw them a while ago, and she looked like she was like 19 years old. Now, everyone can look, you know, older, younger than they really are, so we can't judge on that for sure. But if you are a doctor, you have to be what? I mean, 26, 27, 28 years old, because you have to go through so many, I mean, you have to be like probably 28 or so, maybe in 29, 30. So it's like, she did not look 30 years old. She looked like she was 18, 19. And if she was in high school, that's even wrong in itself. So I don't know. I will say Yasin did seem kind of fidgety. I don't know if he just didn't want to talk about the lady or what, but he was definitely like really weird. Like he wasn't saying much, and that made me kind of say, is he lying? And then about a second later after I thought that, Brittany goes, you liar, that never happened. This girl is fake. You made up the whole thing, because he said I met her on Instagram, which that's like, that would be kind of weird. So Brittany called him out for lying. She claims the whole thing was not true and a complete fib, and we really have no idea, unless eventually we can see a picture of this lady and Yasin together, because I have not seen one, and there is not a picture of the two of them together. But if there is one, then we can probably confirm, okay, she is real, and they probably did get married. So, I mean, that's just what my gut is telling me. The funny thing was, though, Sean turned the camera to Brittany and asked her, hey, are you with a man? And she goes, oh my God, yes, I'm with this guy, that guy, this and that, everything. And she goes, I'm on one of my first dates, we went on a private jet, and oh my God, that is not true. That is a complete lie. If she's talking about the same man that I have heard rumors about, because months and months and months ago, there was a man that Brittany used to date that was like supposedly a rapper, and he was flying around on a rented private jet, which props to him. That is obviously going to cost a lot of money, but they're flying around, and he claims that he was actually paying Brittany to basically hang out and do God knows what with him, and he was paying for the hotel and the food and everything else, and so it was not a date if it was the same guy. Now, if it was a different guy, that's a possibility, but the way she described it, I was like, oh my God, no, no, no. If it's that guy, because she was even taking selfies in his private jet. Like, Brittany is not going on a private jet like 5 times a week. It was probably that one time, and of course, she was acting like it was some big thing, but no, he rented it, he paid for it, and he was basically paying her to go around, so I guess you could say it was a date, but not really. The thing I don't understand, though, for the life of me, is are we ever going to get enough of these two, and are they ever going to go away? I would be curious, and I know we are going to get more of Brittany, because Brittany is now going to go on the new 90 Day Fiance Single Life show with Big Ed. Yasin, for some reason, isn't. I kind of find that surprising, but Yasin is not going to be. Supposedly, he has this new lady friend. Maybe we'll see him on Happily Ever After, maybe. But Brittany, it's like we're getting more of her. But the funny thing with Brittany is she even posted like a day or so ago that I'm done with reality TV. I'm not coming back. I'm not going to do this again, which still tells me once again, why are you doing this? Like, you already did the first show. Apparently, she said she got a horrible cut, and that the first show she was on with Yasin Jasmine was god-awful, and she hated how she looked, but then it's like, well, you did another show, so why are you coming back on 90 Day Fiancé Single Life if you hated doing reality TV so much, and if the 90 Day Fiancé producers totally screwed you? It does not make any sense. But 90 Day Fiancé bears all pretty good. Comment below if you checked it out, and if you did not watch it, or you don't have a subscription, or you can't watch, I'll tell you guys one thing. We saw way too much of Ed. Like at least half of the episode, Ed was sitting there. Like even when we were talking to Ryan and Harris, Ed was sitting there. Why is Ed It's like no one wants to see Ed, at least I don't want to. We also got to see Ed play piano, which it was okay, like a 7 out of 10. It definitely was not bad by any means, but it was still like, okay, yeah, whatever, it's fine, pretty average. But he was walking around like he was freaking Mozart or Beethoven or something. It's like, oh my god, dude, shut up. Like Ed just makes me so freaking mad for one reason, and everyone's probably gonna say, you're jealous. I am not jealous of Ed. I don't care about Ed. The reason he annoys me so much is he just thinks he's such a freaking celebrity. Like that bugs the crap out of me when people go on like a not even, 90 Day Fiancé is popular, but it's like, it's a freaking reality show, and they made a fool out of him, and now he walks around like he's some big shot celebrity, and we got to see in a preview for the 90 Day Fiancé Single Life show, which I've already talked about, but we got to see him on a date, I guess, and I don't even know why this girl's even near him, but she was like a pretty attractive girl, and she was with him. That seems weird, but of course, the cameras were on them, maybe it was just for the show, but anyway, she was with him, they were on a date, and then Ed goes in for a little you-know-what, and she denies him, and it's just like, dude, and then of course he's acting like, like it was just like, dude, this is so uncomfortable, so weird. You learn your role, and it's like, I don't even know. He just can make me kind of creepy. I don't like him. I think he's kind of annoying, and yeah, Big Ed, hopefully, he will be on his way out of the 90 Day Fiancé world sometime soon. Well, guys, thank you all so much for watching. That was about it for 90 Day Bears All. Pretty good episode. It was kind of cringy. It kind of seemed out of place with all the Big Ed stuff, but it was pretty good. Definitely, if you did check it out, make sure to comment below what you guys think of all these people, all these couple, all this drama. We got a lot of stuff going on. Well, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Please make sure to hit that like button, comment below your thoughts, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.